Welcome to Wesam's World Live. If you're listening, we've already messed up, and we're live on Adobe Radio, and we're going to keep going. We're not going to edit that out because that's how we do things here.
We edit nothing out.
We edit nothing out.
Until we do.
That's our motto. It's been a crazy week. Some ups, some downs, but welcome to the show. It's going to be a great one. We'll introduce our guest here in a little bit. We're going to do our daily check-in. Not daily check-in. I always say that every single week. And you know what? I'm going to keep it. It's my daily check-in with Peyton Grufick.
Hell yeah.
A.K.A. Little PP. Before we get in with that, I want to thank people for tuning in live. And thank you for all of our new subscribers on YouTube. We appreciate you guys. And if you're not subscribed, you know you should be at this point. Because if you're listening weekly and you're not subscribed to us on YouTube, you're missing out on a lot of things here. You're missing out on cash prizes, car prizes, home prizes, life prizes. That's right, people. Life prizes on Wesam's World. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, Wesam, I've never seen you give somebody a free car on the show.
Yeah.
And to that, you know what I say? You haven't been listening.
That's true. I've heard Wesam give away like 5 cars this week.
And you know why? It's because I'm generous and, more importantly, I'm trying to get into heaven.
That's good.
That's going to be the theme for the episode. Getting into heaven.
Getting into heaven.
All right? And
yeah.
That's what's going to happen. I'm going to teach you guys how to get into heaven. All right? You know what? No, because I see these preachers doing it.
Yeah.
Dude, I can help you get into heaven. You don't need to go to church.
Would you ever open a mega church?
What do you think?
I feel like you would.
It wouldn't be in that style.
It wouldn't be in that style, no. But
it'd be in a valley.
Yeah.
In a desert valley.
Oh, a cult.
Hey. Words are words.
Words are words.
So, follow us on YouTube. Follow us on our Instagram account, Wesam's World, and our Twitter account as well. And if you're not following me on just me personally, you get out of here.
Damn.
Real talk?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Wow.
Dude, had a great time with my brothers when they came this weekend.
Yeah. How was it?
Oh my gosh, it went by way too quickly.
Man, how long was he in town?
5 days.
5 days.
Yeah, and you know, after we left the show, we recorded it on Saturday.
Yeah.
After we left, we drove over to Big Bear. Shout out to Andy for letting us use his cabin. And we got up there, and holy moly, there was more snow than we expected.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting there to be snow at all where y'all were saying. You were like, it's just like an hour and a half away.
Yeah.
Snow is an hour and a half away? That's crazy.
Bro.
I'll throw up video. It was beautiful.
Oh, yes, please. I'll give you some more. It was up to my my shins, like my mid-shins, which is about a foot in the wilderness. I would say so. Some parts only had like a few inches, but oh my goodness, we get to the cabin, and guess what? Had to start shoveling the steep driveway because my poor Tesla, it's fine in the snow, but the clearance wasn't there.
Yeah.
So, oh man. And my fingers went numb, and it was great, man.
That's good.
I love that kind of stuff.
Oh, I'd be miserable up there, but that's okay.
My brother, after a long day of travel, understandably, sorry, Daniel, I got to mention this story. He was like, "Can we just go back?" He was a little miserable when we got there. Oh no! And we're shoveling, and he didn't bring the right shoes.
Okay.
And that he was a little bit.
Was he
miserable.
getting snow in his shoe?
Oh, his shoes were freezing wet.
Yeah.
But he, you know what? After he took, we slept in. Yeah, it was good. Hey, I got to tell you something about a film I saw, and I need to mention this to you.
Okay.
Today, and then this week, we got to have a bad movie night.
Okay.
And we need to watch this film. And what's going to happen is we need to talk about it next week.
Yeah.
And it's the best, worst film I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, good.
Number 1.
What is it?
I can't.
Oh, you can't. Oh, like it's. Oh, okay.
I can't say it yet.
Can you text it to me real quick?
Oh, don't worry.
Okay.
I'll let you know what it is, good man. But let me just say this. This is going to be an event.
Oh, okay.
And I'm kind of waiting for, what's-his-face, Isaiah, to get his shot so we can do it properly. And Jonte will be there. Yeah. And we can come to my place. And it will be an entire event. And I want to film it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because my brothers and I saw it. and it was nonstop laughter, shock, pausing, rewinding, going over how in the hell was this thing made.
Oh.
Best thing ever in my life, man.
Yeah, the Mortal Kombat movie.
Now, why do you ruin everything? Huh? How was your week?
It's good. I watched the Zack Snyder Justice League cut.
How was it?
It was really good, actually.
It was great.
It had no business being as good as it was.
Wow.
That's the problem. And that's a good thing. But like I went in saying like it's going to be better. I don't know if you saw the original Justice League. Do you know the story behind what happened?
Zack Snyder made some, or he had some tweets that people didn't like. Is that the one?
No.
Oh, what happened then?
Okay, so he was making a Justice League film that came out in 2017.
Yeah.
His daughter committed suicide while he was filming it.
Oh my goodness.
So he stepped out of the project.
Wow.
Joss Whedon came over and took over control. Scrapped 75% of what they've already shot. They were like almost done with the film.
What?
And rewrote everything and changed it. Film came out and it was horrible.
What?
And so everybody has been like, release the Snyder cut. Like, show us what Zack Snyder wanted to make. And we got it. It was 4 hours long. And it was really good. And it was a completely different film.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And at the end, it said for Autumn, who was his daughter. And it was just, oh, my heart. My heart. He didn't take any money for this film. Like, he didn't get paid at all. He didn't want anything. He just wanted to get it done. Mad respect for the man.
Wow. That's somebody I want to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, man. I don't know what to say. That's so heart-wrenching.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. And now for Joss, first of all.
Joss. I have a hard time saying his name.
I know. I feel like I'm going to have a speech impediment just trying to say his name. Joss Whedon.
Mm-hmm.
Whedon. I think he has some accusations against him right now.
He's in a little bit of trouble.
He's in a little bit of trouble, unfortunately.
He's always had that kind of thing of like, he's kind of a dick on set.
Yeah.
He did the Avengers movies.
Yeah.
And
It's from Oklahoma, I think.
yeah, is he?
I think so.
Represent.
Again, don't quote me. You might want to look that up before you say that. Sorry, Oklahoma. That's what I don't understand. Do you remember Bill D'Elia, who came on the show?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, you don't have to be an asshole to be successful
Right.
in this business. And it's so true. Like, I don't know about you, but whenever I was directing my brother's music video, again, by Quiche Music, you can find it on YouTube, I didn't want to be an asshole to people. Yeah, like we were there to do a job and stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
like I get passionate and stuff, but I don't think being rude or disrespectful in any way to any person on set is even helpful. And like what does that gain in the long run?
Right.
You can be intense and you can be like direct and kind of, hey, you can't do this because of this. So, but I think maintaining that team mentality is really important.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to hear about this freaking movie you're talking about.
Goodness gracious. Yeah, I will tell you about it at the break. Our guest today, ladies and gentlemen, I enjoyed having him on the show last time tremendously. He's a hilarious comedian. Make sure you follow him on all his social media. So stay tuned after the break. Michael Lenoci will be joining us. We'll be back.
Then I can post it and be like, oh, look, dude, I had a guest walk off. You know what I mean? That's better content.
Well,
Than to deal with that, I would be like, you're being a complete asshole. You know that? You're wearing sunglasses inside. Like, who does that? Like, are you doing it? I would literally go, are you doing that because, like, you think that this is a better image for yourself? Or are you doing that because you want to show you don't give a shit? Like, what sort of inside shit is going on?
Right.
Because you can't honestly be like this in real life, right?
Yeah.
No actual human does this unless it's like a gimmick, like you're doing a bit, right? And they're like, what are you talking? Hey, we're all born and then we're raised and we see what the world is like. Most of us see the same shit. Some of us have seen different shit and it made us into this human, but relatively, growing up in Australia, I don't care. We kind of understand what's going on. So you have to see what you're doing is outrageous.
Yeah.
That's what I would have said to her.
That would have been a wonderful conversation.
And then
to
she would have
watch.
got up and said, I was like, you're doing that because you have extreme insecurities and you need therapy. And I would say that as I left. And that's the dinger, and I win.
Yeah.
And I go, and then as they're leaving, I go, I won. I go,
Oh.
I won.
Yeah.
You lost.
You need that.
You lost this day. And I needed that because I'm competitive. But I won this interview because you're a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
And nobody likes you. And your mom and dad obviously didn't have a good relationship with something like that. That would trigger something.
Yeah.
Get them so mad. That's why your siblings didn't like you. Oh, if you say those two things to anyone, you're going to get something. Right? If you could say to anyone, I don't know anything about your guys' upbringing. And be like, oh, that's why you were weird with your father. Most likely, you know what I mean? But like, it's so, they're big. How did they know? Like, and then if they're like, what is he talking about? It's like, oh, that's why you're like, if you say three things, you're going to get one.
Yeah.
That's why your siblings never really appreciated you. Your mom's not proud of you. Like they're so upset that you did. Are we recording?
Yeah.
Oh, this is great.
Yeah.
I was like, why are we wasting this? We're wasting this.
I'm just letting you go, man.
Yeah.
Dude,
Welcome to the takeover, guys. I'm on a different podcast today, but welcome back to the show. And then I just take this segment. What was her name? Can we say her name?
No.
Fine.
No.
Whatever guest he had previously that was a piece of shit, that's who we were talking about. Because I don't know if you started recording at the beginning of what we were talking about.
Yeah. No, we recorded somewhere, and I don't even know where, to be honest with you. Speaking of the takeover, before I forget,
Yeah.
you're in your new space.
Yeah. That's
do you like it?
exciting. I mean, it's something different now. It's exciting, and I'm bringing in a mic stand and a mic for myself this week.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it sounds like you guys are in an open room.
Yeah, with me at least. Like the guest sounds a little bit, but he wanted to do lava mics, right? That's what they're called.
Oh, yeah. The ones on your
So,
chest.
and then I'm like, bro, it's fine when you're watching it on YouTube, and that's essentially what I want it to be, a YouTube show that people watch. But like when I'm listening to it on my phone, I'm like, it just doesn't sound clean, and I don't like it, and it's bothering me. And I go, let me have a mic, and I feel better with a mic in front of my face. It makes me feel like I'm on. And then in time, we'll get the guest mics, but they can still stay on the loud mics because I felt like theirs is fine, but I felt like they were picking up my voice a little bit, and it was making it sound. I was sounding echoey, and they weren't as much. But either way, we're only 7 episodes in the studio, but it's all just figuring out. Like I'm already changing the dynamic of the show. I'm like, okay, this isn't working. Let's move this. Let's put this up top. I do my solo thing up top, then I'll do like a dating detective thing, and then we'll have the guest portion's like a half hour or less. It's figuring it out. It's going to take a while, and then, hopefully by the end of the year, it's a fully polished show, and then we're in a routine, and then we're like, okay, now we have it. Right now, it's just like we're changing stuff every week. We're just trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
So, numbers are even lower than they've ever been in my life. They're the lowest it's ever been. So it's like, okay, well, the audience has spoken. That's what it makes you think. It makes you think like that, but you're like, okay, I don't care. We'll figure it out, and this is all I have. I got my takeover podcast. Like you call it a podcast, but it feels like more like a show. That's what essentially I'm trying to do. Make a show, which we're gonna start doing live on Mondays.
Oh, like with an audience, or like
No,
just streaming it live?
Just streaming it live.
Okay, great.
And then it posts, but we feel like that gets more traction.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start doing it live, and then make it like a real, like production, and like it will be like fun. Feel like you're doing something. I don't know.
No, I think first of all, your attention to the details and the quality of the show is well founded, and it shows that you actually care about what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened with my previous podcast. That happened with this podcast. I'm always, especially in the beginning stages, because you're still trying to figure things out. You're finding the rhythm. You're trying to find the rhythm, and that's something that annoys me is when stuff isn't technically on par.
Yeah.
Because we're in 2021 right now, right? Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
And so I totally understand that part. And we were talking before we started recording about like what else is there to do. And yeah, man, I'm kind of in the same boat. I know I'm not a comedian, but I've started pitching TV shows to my managers and some production companies, and writing with my writing partner, because acting's kind of going up, down, COVID
Yeah.
thing. Like, what else am I gonna do at home? I can't just sit at home and do nothing, dude.
No. Yeah.
I mean, seriously, like, like,
No, I could do that for a little bit.
yeah,
Sit at home and do nothing.
yeah, like, what's a little bit to you though?
An hour.
Oh, okay, but not like days on end. You're just chilling at home watching
No,
TV.
no. I mean, like, if I do then I'll get sad. Like, I have to even get up. Like, even if I don't have a show, I have to go to a show.
Yeah.
I have to be around the comedy.
Mm.
You know, I have to be around it, and that's great. You know, just to even if I can't get up, I feel like, you know, it's just I got a mountain to climb and I gotta go. And, you know,
Fuck, man. This is why I love doing my show, because I just like talking with people.
yeah,
I really do, most of the time I have great conversations with people, or we talk about something and it's really deep, or we talk about something else and we're laughing our butts off.
Yeah.
And with you, like I've seen you obviously before in your comedy, and it's so good now. The second time you're on, getting to know who you are really, instead of this like persona that I see on my phone constantly.
yeah.
Because
Is it not the same?
No, it's a little deeper and it's nicer
Oh, in person.
in person.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess I've been traumatized to be. Why would I want to be vulnerable online when people attack you every day? Like, I wake up every day to a comment on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, something. Someone's talking shit. So it's like, okay, why? Like, why? I don't want to get fucking punched in the gut every day. So I'll just post stand up and podcast clips.
Fuck those people, man.
Sure, but I mean, this is still real life. So, I mean, I can get to know like friends and stuff, but even just in the last year, it's like, okay, are they really your friends? Like, you know what I mean? Like, or when you're not valuable anymore, are they still going to be there and call you and be like, hey man, what's up? How are you? Just checking in. You know, like the phone calls are very few in between. So, you know, what do I get? You know, I could count on my hand who's like a real friend in the industry. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, I can be like, I'd like to be more vulnerable on my podcast. I tried to get into that. It's a little different right now with the transition in the group setting, but yeah, fuck the haters online. I get that. Nobody really knows anything, but
can I give you an example of something that I get?
Yeah.
And at first, it really messed with me because I think I'm like generally a nice guy. I'm not really mean to someone unless they're doing something stupid or really mean.
Yeah.
But I saw I have my earlier podcast, Actors Anonymous, on YouTube, and I'm like, that was my first time trying to host a show.
Yeah.
First time bringing other actors or directors and trying to talk with them and realizing, oh shit, this is an actual craft. There's an actual skill to this. So I'm learning as I go. And yeah, it's not perfect. I interrupt sometimes or something like that.
Yeah.
And you'll see like the mean comments like, this guy's horse shit. This guy's such an amateur.
Yeah.
And I'm taking a step back. I'm like, what does it take? What would it take for me to write that?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, yeah. I mean, it's crazy.
It's like
You're a lunatic.
You don't see that this is somebody's beginning project, or it's not perfect, but even if it isn't good, even if it sucks, why write that? Like, what do you gain from writing that, or being in somebody else's personal business, or saying a personal attack on somebody? I have no idea what compels somebody. Maybe it's ignorance. Maybe it's, it feels good to do that because I'm doing nothing with my life.
That's what it is.
For sure.
But
And I'm trying to be the alchemist of my emotions. I read that somewhere, and switch that bad feeling to a feeling of, oh, fuck yeah, good. Keep talking shit because I want you to remember this moment when you wrote that.
Yeah.
So when I'm...
Yeah, but they won't.
Well, it helps me. Michael.
They won't.
I was on a motivational
I think that
thing.
way too. And then they won't.
But then you'll be at a good place, and that helps you drive you to that place.
And you won't think about that comment
They
anymore
will,
either.
Michael. No,
and
they will. They will.
I do have this. I will say this. It's stupid because it's like, listen, at the end of the day, you know the answer. You know if someone's reaching out, it's because something's going on with them. That's ultimately what it is. You know what I mean? I always say this, and this is my defense, and I'm saying it, and I'm saying it because I think, okay, I'm a little agitated too by the comment. So they won. they already won a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Because they can get to you and you're being vulnerable online, and then they got nothing. They're a private account, right? So you can't attack them back. And publicly, I try to be kind of nice with my text, but part of me wants to be like, fuck you. I'm going to comment back. If someone says something and it makes me feel shitty, then I'm going to come back at them. And if I only have their profile picture, I'm going to be like, fuck you. I hope your family dies in a fire. Like, I just want to say the worst thing to them. Like, fuck you. And then I don't care what people think about my reaction to them. I want to get to that point. I really do.
Yeah.
And I want to be like, if you're going to judge me of responding to a troll, then that's on you. But I really want to say like hurtful things to these people because it's hurtful to me because you're going after my art. Okay. So there's that. But then part of me also has this thing where, you know, you can go and scroll through everyone you've ever blocked on Instagram, right? Or maybe Twitter, whatever. I want to one day, I think about this, but I know I won't do it. But like, I want to be like doing a theater and I sold out the theater. These people paid to come see my stand up. And I say, hey guys, can we just take a video real quick of me going, hey, fuck you. And we all just flick off the camera. And I go, hey, fuck you. And then I get that clip. It's just like 10 seconds. And I post it on Instagram. And then I unblock everyone I've ever blocked. And I tag them in that post.
Ooh.
And I go, thanks for always hating.
Yeah.
And then literally every single person that I ever blocked, like all, whether 300 people, they're just all tagged in the fucking post. And then they get the notification, they see it, and they go, maybe you don't remember me, but at one point or another, you gave me a reason to block you. And I just want to let you know that that didn't stop me from keep going. And I did. And here's where I'm at now. Thanks for your hate. Something like that.
But I like that better than attacking them again with like more mean words.
Yeah.
Just by the pure fact that whatever they said drove you or didn't even affect you and you kept going.
Yeah.
That's the victory in there.
Yeah.
Instead of going back to their level and like attacking them, which is such a higher way of thinking, and it's so hard because you do want to say those things instinctively because it's a defense mode for you. Like somebody attacks you want to defend them or you want to defend yourself. But yeah, man, it will happen it will happen eventually. I feel like if you keep at your craft and you keep getting better at it.
So
like I'm curious to know, like you've got to have like a special coming up soon, or like at least like an hour or so.
No,
Oh, really?
No. A special?
Yeah, like an hour special. That's what the
Yeah, no, I don't even have an hour. I mean, like, you know, comedy's just, I have like 20 minutes right now.
Really?
I mean, yeah, I mean, from what I can get up, like, and I feel polished with that 20 minutes, but to be able to do an hour and shoot a special, then that means you've had to have done that hour like 500 times.
Wow.
So to be able to have the opportunity to do an hour 500 times, that's a small window of comedians. So like when a younger comic's like, I want to shoot a special, it's like, but you're not even in that world yet. Just do your 20 and get good. Nobody wants your special. Like you have to be able to get booked all over the country to go work your hour. So every time you're watching a special on Netflix or HBO, that comedian did that hour at least 500 times. They've done that 500 times. That exact set. That's how polished it is.
Wow.
Because if you're putting it on TV, those words that they're saying verbatim are pretty much down to the T. Maybe there's a little ad libs here and there, but like that routine is so polished. Like how comedy's been going for this last year, you know, with everything. You know, I did 10 shows in Vegas 2 weeks ago. So by Sunday, I felt really good. I was like, whoa. I was like, man, I haven't felt like that in a while. Like I had like my routine from, all right, so we had 2 shows Thursday, 3 shows Friday, 3 shows Saturday, 2 shows Sunday. Thursday was like all over the place. Friday was kind of a rougher crowd, heckly, so I had to go off my routine. Saturday felt really good. From Saturday second show to third show to Sunday's first show and second show, my routine was almost identical. You know what I mean? Like I almost had the same 20 minutes I was doing. Like maybe there was a little change here and there, but ideally, you know, when you're doing stand up, you know, you have 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and then you build an hour. When you finally build an hour, but to build an hour, you need to be doing an hour. You know, when you're around town, you're doing 20-minute sets. It's very hard to build an hour just doing 20-minute sets because you have to do well. So when you're doing well, you're doing the stuff that works, and then maybe you're throwing in a joke here or there. But over time, you know, even if you create a new bit and then you expand on it, how long is that going to take to build in town? You know, it's going to take a couple years just to build another 20 minutes. So to build an hour, you have to practice an hour. So to practice an hour in LA, you have to be famous. Who gets to do an hour in LA? Unless you go far out and rent your own room. But you got to get good crowds. You got to be in front of a good crowd. So who brings in good crowds? Bigger comics. So a bigger comic is going to get to do longer time in front of good crowds. I can't get 100 people to come see me in LA. You know what I mean? If I would, I could build more time and then sell out a room every day and have a lot of money. But in the meantime, you do 20 minutes, but people are so excited about getting an hour. It's like, who's booking you to do an hour? You know what I mean? Like if I'm doing the road 25 weekends a year, but I'm opening for someone, I'm not doing an hour. I'm doing 20 to 25 minutes. So I'm working on that, and I could build it quickly because I'm in front of a good crowd. But that still would take a couple years to like build a whole hour. But at the end of the day, you still need to practice that hour. You can't just be like, I have an hour full of jokes, so I can do an hour. Oh, you can go on stage for an hour is different than having an hour. You still have to do the hour so many times so that you don't even think. It's just bam, bam, bam.
Right.
So no one you know is coming out with a special anytime soon.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Of all
if
all the comedians that you know, yeah.
I'm sorry if this was an ignorant question. I just
No,
don't
it's
know.
not. No, it's I like explaining it to people. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like that's the game. Like you have to. So no, I've never even, you know, I've probably done an hour on stage less than 10 times in my life. Just that's how hard it is. You know, I did a headlining show in Chicago last year, Boston, New York. You know, I've done one in like Walla Walla, Washington. I've probably done one, you know, in Florida. Yeah, literally, like, of all the places I've ever had the opportunity to do an hour, maybe San Diego a few times, like, less than 10 times probably. It's just like that hard to like get booked to do it an hour. Usually when you get a headlining gig, the minimum is 45 minutes.
Right.
So, you know, when you get to that point, I'm just like, okay, what can I do to get there? I got 45, I can do it. And I'm riffing. But even if after I do it, I'm like, okay, cool, that's something. Then I would have to go do it another night or at least next weekend to like really go, okay, I remember how I got there. And then figure it out. You know what I mean? You can't just go, I have an hour worth of jokes and go up and just tell them. Like, it's got to be a routine. You know what I mean? Like, you're putting on a concert, essentially. So figuring out what works, where the jokes go, what flows better, that just takes time. There's no one can just go up and just do all their jokes. It just wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't look good. It wouldn't flow well. Like, when you watch a special, a comedian has, like, a beginning, middle, and end. Kind of like, you know, you're writing a story. Like, it just flows together. Because they've done that hour so many times. So like when younger comics are worried about like, I got an hour, you know, my goal is to shoot an hour. It's like, bro, when people are booking you and you have 100 shows a year where you get to do an hour for 100 times all over the country and you're touring, then fucking worry about your hour. In the meantime, worry about being great for 20 minutes in town or 15. You know what I mean? Because that will get people to be like, whoa, this is good. I see potential. Let's use you to essentially, you know, get you on more gigs or help you get to the point where people want to book you to do an hour. But there's no rush because you want that hour to be great.
Of course.
If the first hour's not great, they're not going to come see the second one.
Good point. Good point. So then two questions now. Whenever you're coming up with new material, that's got to be, are you just sitting around with a notepad in front of you? Are you just at a coffee shop just kind of looking at stuff? Or does something happen to you in your personal life and you kind of jot that down on your phone?
Yeah.
And then you go, oh, okay, like maybe I can say that on stage in this way. And then you kind of write it down and then you just do it. Like, how does that process work?
Well, my process is like, I used to always like be all over the place when I was doing it. And then I will, like, here's an example. I'll be like, you know, I'll write down an idea on my phone first now. Now I have a very clean way about how I do it, but I'm all over the place. I'm from my phone to stage, writing on stage to a notebook. That's the process. So like I have ideas that I have never even touched, but then I also have my routine. So like I have my routine, for instance, just reading my routine. My routine right now is this. So it's all one words and it's that long. If I was able to go through all these, I would say that's like a half hour, right?
Mm.
And that's just doing them at the beginning. And now if I was able to do all those jokes for that half hour all year long 100 times, I could turn that half hour into an hour because I could elaborate on the jokes, right?
Yeah.
So like if my routine says Republican, girlfriend eating, White Claw, toolbox, ready or not, here I come, lost my friend, future wife, stay-at-home dad, substitute teacher. Okay, all of that, those words mean a bit to me, right? And then with those bits, I can go, I can like, if I have an idea that I go back to the ideas. Now the ideas that sometimes I don't touch, if I have an idea and I think it's good, I'll write it down. But if I also don't think it fits with any of those words then I'm not gonna really work on it. I just have the idea because I'm like, well, that doesn't fit with what my act is right now. Do you get what I'm saying? But then I also now am way more, effective or like diligent. Like where if I have an idea, I can already process whether that idea is even for me. I could be like, that's funny, but I have nothing to do with that idea. Go tweet it out or something. It's like it's not going to work in my act. Do you get I know what works for my act, which I didn't have that ability 2-3 years ago. But like now I'm very efficient with what I do. Like I like, so now I know I talk about like, hey, I'm going to be 37. Now I'm ready. I want to settle down. Like I'm trying to, I want to be a family man. I want to be a stand-up comedian. I want to stay at home. I want to be a stay-at-home dad, but I want to have family. I want my wife to work. She can work. She can go to school and work the whole time. She should. Power to women. Fuck equal pay. You get all the pay. Right. Why would I work? I'm progressive. Right. You want me to work? How arrogant and misogynistic is it to be a guy and be like, do you need me to help pay the bills? Oh, wow, you're a bad guy. No, women, you do it. This is what you've been fighting for. Like, you know what I mean? So like, okay, that's my act. So now I'm like, okay, like talking about my life. So now I know what my routine is. I can expand on that. Then I have like, okay, I wrote down a note the other day. I don't even know if it's funny. I just like, my girlfriend doesn't seem to understand the rules of eating when we're together. She's always trying to feed me. I'm not into that. Maybe once. Hey, let me try that. But don't like, I don't want to be digging in my food and then you put your fork in my face in public. Like, have some respect for yourself. Like, I want to try food when I want to try food. I don't want you putting it, like, relax. Like, I don't know. This is just an idea. And I'm like, where can I make this kind of funny about, and it's relatable of just about how, like, and there's certain rules when, I'm eating with my girlfriend. She always wants to grab my food. And it's like, listen, the rules are don't touch any of my food, but I get to have anything of yours. And that's just how it is. Yeah. I don't know if this is funny. Again, this is an idea. Then I'll go on stage and I'll try it. I can squeeze it in between jokes, right? Because it fits the routine. It's in the subject matter of what I talk about, right? So I can talk about it and I could feel engage the room because I've been doing stand-up long enough so I could read the room. So I could read the room to feel if they're into this bit. And if they're not into it, then I could check out of it real quick and smoothly go into a joke that I know works and get a quick laugh to recover the little lull of like 10, 15 seconds that was going on. And they would have no idea. They'll be like, oh, he was just talking about something and he jumped in to a straight punchline because I know where my punchlines are. So I could easily get to them. So that now I have the skill set, which you wouldn't have as a younger comic. I have the skill set to write on stage where no matter what I'm doing, wherever I am, whatever room it is, if it's a hard room, if for whatever reason I'm trying a bit out and it's not going well, within 5 to 10 seconds I can get to a punchline and that will save me. So I have all these safety nets surrounding me because I've been in comedy so long. So I have safety net. So I could go on stage and be like, before I go on stage every night, I could be like, what do you want me to try to do a joke about? You could be like, try to do a joke about koala bears. I'm like, okay, I'll try. And I could go on stage, start my routine, and 5 minutes in, I could be like, man, I saw this documentary about koala bears. How cute are they? And just riff for about 30 seconds. And if nothing comes out funny, I could just jump into another bit and get a laugh. And then I'm like, okay, they have no idea. They have no idea I was just trying. They were just like, they're not even processing that. They're watching a comedy show. Do you get what I'm saying?
Two things. I love how technically you're speaking about everything. And it's so freaking interesting to me. We have to take a quick break.
Yes.
And then second, I want you to try that with me to show how horrible I am.
Yeah.
And how difficult it would be.
Okay.
You give me a topic.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna riff right after the break.
Okay.
About it. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll be back. Before you give me a topic, Do you ever record like audio record or video record your sets to kind of see?
Audio, yeah, pretty much 99% of them.
Okay, so that way you can actually see like, oh, if this bit worked, why did it work, or if this
Yeah,
didn't.
I mean,
can
and then
change
I've
this
also
up?
forgot to record one time and hit gold,
Mm.
and got off stage and can't remember and can't find that gold, and I go fuck, and I'm like that shit, and then I'm trying to find it right now with a bit. Like I hit gold on something like, I was like, I'm not gonna record this one. I'm just gonna go up and quick, riffed something, hit gold, and for the last month I've been doing that same bit, trying to find out what I said that worked so well, and I can't. But whatever, I'll keep finding it. I'll get it, but you know what I mean.
I'm sure you will.
I hope, unless I die.
That's a possibility.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's gonna stop me from going up, is dying. Really.
I wanna show everybody how hard it is to be a comedian,
Okay.
or maybe how easy it is.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe I'll just hit gold right now in front of you. So you pick any topic, and I'm gonna riff off of it.
Coffee.
Coffee. Coffee. Here's the thing with coffee that you got to watch out for.
Mm-hmm.
This is so difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god! And I can only see. I've already quit, by the way. I've already quit.
You don't have a point of view on coffee?
Zero. I'm like a coffee snob. So I love coffee.
So then there's your point of view on it, though.
That's okay. That's the point of view.
I fucking love coffee more than what? Like I could just give, like for instance, you know what your point of view is when you do stand up for so long. You know your point of view. So like, say something.
Chicken wings.
I don't like chicken wings.
Okay.
I don't like them because there's a bone in them. So if I'm gonna eat, why don't you do the work and get rid of the bone? Why do I have to deal with the bone? So I want the meat. I want it in my mouth. I want to chew. I don't have to work my way around a bone. Isn't that whole? You already killed the animal, so take the bone out. Why do I have to deal with the bone? So you want me to do some of the work, and now I have to pay more for the wings? I'd rather have boneless wings. I have boneless wings. You're covering it in sauce anymore. Are we really tasting the meat? Is it really about the meat? Why is the goddamn bone there? I'm not a big wing guy, but people associate wings with men. Oh, I'm a fucking tough guy because I eat wings. Oh, I'm a bitch because I eat boneless wings? That's what it is? That's what it's about? No, I'm smarter. You're just a caveman. That's why you're like, oh, I'm tougher because I have fucking wings. I don't know. That was it. But whatever. Like, I was just able to like.
That's so freaking amazing from a technical standpoint. From my, like, I'm looking at it through that lens. Like, do you learn that on the go? Do you learn that from the book? Do you learn that in a class? Or you just find that out?
I don't know.
You just found that out then, or you don't know?
Yeah, I just feel like I just feel like I can have an opinion about anything. Like there's just like, oh, okay, even if I don't know about it, I go back, I could, I don't know if every comic's like this. I don't know what their skills were. I'm kind of ranty on stage.
Yeah.
So like, I'll just, I have a strong opinion about wings. It came up and I don't like wings.
Yeah.
So, and I'll tell you why I don't, because it's like, I don't think it tastes any better than white meat. So it's like, why would I do more work for less? It's like too much.
Yeah.
Too much work for a little, like I want all of the food in my mouth.
I hate that they made that a racial thing too. Like white meat and dark meat, like everything has to be like versus each other.
Well, one's dark and one's white though.
Yeah, but I feel like there was racially like undertones to it. It's like
there's a bit. You're doing a bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See, I'm having a point of view on it.
Yeah.
And so
but I could poke through your bit and be like, but there is a real thing. One's dark and one's white.
No, I think it's racially undertoned for sure.
Okay, but why?
Like look into it.
I've seen inside of chicken, yes.
Yeah.
And they are different inside. Unlike humans, are the same inside. So that's why your thing is flawed. Your point of view is flawed because if you cut open every human, our bodies are the same. Now you cut open dark meat versus white meat.
He's all bones.
He has a heart.
Him?
He might not have blood running through his veins, but he has a heart.
There is 100% chance he has like zero
He might
blood
not
running through
be
him.
able to.
Bones.
He might not be able to go outside and see the sun because he'll melt because he's a vampire. But
Dude, I have so much more. Obviously, I've respected comedians who get up there and stuff, but like the craft of it is, that's what I love learning about it. When people get so technical about their craft and why it works or why this doesn't work.
Yeah.
Even like a wasabi farmer in Japan, when they start talking about
How do they do it?
Yeah, and so it's just so freaking beautiful to me. Like it has to be done near flowing water and like
Really?
a stream. Yeah, you can't have it like just in a farmland anywhere. It has to be like through fresh spring water. It has to be a stream. Like it has to be so specific, and like the details about it. I mean, I don't know why that kind of stuff just makes me happy to learn, because it makes you think that there's more to life than just this BS that's just surface.
But everything has that. Isn't that cool?
Exactly.
Everything has that. Like man, you say the thing about wasabi, but it was like there was something I was watching. I was like, man, it's crazy how like technical and all the thought that goes behind this simple thing that you never usually think about. Does that make sense?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, but I don't even know what I'm talking about. But it was like something so simple that you don't even think about a lot, that you're like, whoa, the thought process that goes behind them doing this is actually fascinating. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, even something like beekeeping, like, that's just a random example, but like what goes behind that. But everything, yeah, there's like an art behind it all. Like,
Are you finding other than stand-up things to make you happy? Like you seemed a
Yeah.
little down in the dumps. I don't know if you're just tired or anything.
well, I mean, yeah, no, I don't know. I don't feel tired right now. I'm kicked up on coffee. Part of me feeling down in the dumps is kind of a persona I've been pushing out on to the world for some reason a little bit. Kind of maybe like I want people to have empathy for me. I don't know why.
Oh,
'Cause that's maybe that's it. But then part of me, I hate to feel bad for myself or feel bad for, because I was going to talk about this on my podcast this week, is we kind of like, I'm very good at like just kind of taking a step back and being like, man, we're really fortunate to everything we do have, right? We're all like really actually lucky, and we're chasing our dreams, and that's awesome. We're doing stuff we love. So then you feel guilty feeling bad or sad sometimes, but like that's not kind of fair. But then I feel guilty even saying that's not fair. But it's like, why can't, just because we have everything that we've dreamed of or wanted, am I allowed to feel bad for myself? Am I allowed to feel sad? Am I allowed to feel down? Like, these are kind of questions I'm asking myself every day. Like, is a billionaire allowed to be depressed? Like, isn't he allowed to be? Right? Or no, because he has $1 billion, he's not allowed to be. You know what I mean?
that's a good question. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm. It's more like, I don't know. I just felt like, God, man. It's just like things do get better. Essentially, hopefully they will. But it's just like, whether it's personal life shit, it's just like life beats you up, even if you've had a good life. My parents are still married. They're alive for now. Like I've had a lot of friends. I've had a good life. Got to travel. Went to college. Got to do stand-up. Got cool stuff in my career. This year's been hard for everyone. But then, you get beat up here and there. And then you're like, man, this sucks. Like, this isn't anything that is a result of my actions. I'm just getting beat up in life for shit that is out of my control. So that sucks. But now I feel guilty feeling bad for myself because of how fortunate I am in life. Right? That's where I'm at. But then I'm also like, I feel like I woke up today and my TikTok was banned. I'm like, why?
I saw that on your story. I was like,
Why the fuck is it banned? All I did was post comedy clips. What? So like, I don't care. It's not that big. I'll just create a new account and repost my clips. Whatever. There was like 10,000 followers on there. Whoopity do. But I just like started doing it and it was getting exciting. And I'm like, I don't understand why this happened. So this is such a stupid, minimal, dumb problem, but that's a punch to the gut, whether you like it or not. If you're in this industry, if you're a salesman and you go to work and you find out, hey, one of the prospects you were going to try to close went with someone else, punch in the gut. Even though you have a 6-figure job and your wife and kids at home and you have a career and it's stable and you have a 401k and you have a nice house and a nice car, that would still be a punch in the gut. So that's all it is. So that's what was today. So it's just more like, what the fuck? Like, you feel like with when a lot of things are happening that are punches in the gut in a row, you're like, then you start to think, why is the universe pushing me out of this? Which is not going to work. Like, it's like, oh my God, like, why is this happening? And then you're like, oh, I'm feeling guilty for even having, why is this happening to me? Like, I mean, there's a starving family deep in the valley past Burbank, probably 2 miles from us. There's a family 2 miles from us right now that are struggling really bad, health-wise and financial-wise. And they're trying to make ends meet. And I'm sitting here going, man, shit's just fucking going down on me because TikTok banned me. Like, how stupid does that sound? So I feel guilty for that. But at the same time, it's like, it's annoying, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I feel that as well with what goes on in my life.
Yeah.
And I try to stop that sadness as best as I can. And do you feel like you're not fully accepting the perspective because you're not taking one or the other?
What does that mean?
So you're not going, okay, I have a right to feel bad about this. I'm taking this perspective, and that's the perspective I'm going to look at this from. It's from my perspective. It doesn't mean I'm not thankful. I just have a right to feel bad about it because this is the world that I've chosen to live in and that I've chosen to look through these lenses of it.
Yeah.
Or you go to the other route, go, you know what? No, I have a lot of good things going for me. Yeah, things are hard, but that family over there would kill to have my problems.
Yeah.
So I'm accepting this position, and I'm just going to go for it. Even if that little bit of sadness comes up, no, because I'm taking a stance on the lens I want to view life from.
Yeah.
So do you think
I like to go with that route sometimes? Yeah, I like to just power through and be like, okay, whatever. I mean, that's the only option to do.
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, is it because you feel you keep getting pulled here and then you're going here and you're not like taking a definitive disciplined, okay, that's it. No more. I'm going to not feel sad.
No, if I feel sad, I never get depressed, so I can't relate to people that do, but I hear about it in my relationships and with other comics, and I'm always fascinated. I'm like, oh, so like you've been sad for like 4 or 5 days at a time? They're like, yeah, weeks. I'm like, what? Like I'm a pretty happy guy. So if I'm sad, it's because of something very recent, and I'm just being sensitive and I'm being butthurt. But I'm a pretty much go-getter, like, all right, let's keep going. On to the next thing. Fine. That's how it's going to be. Let's go. But at the same time, when there's a lot in a row, I've never had that before in my life. This is my first time I've had, like, outside of career shit, stuff with my family, stuff with career shit. It's all piled up. Going back to last year, I mean, year to the date, I'm not even a year to the date with, like, from putting my dog down last April. So I haven't even got to a year yet of just like how I can name 10 things. I'm like, Jesus, not that this hasn't happened for everyone else. I'm just like, they're really molding me into who I'm supposed to be. That's what, this is, but why so late? I'm going to be 37. This should have happened when I was 22. Would have built more character, but you want to build my character at 36? Fine, let's do it. But I'm just like, all right, when are we done? When is it going to start going up? So it's like, it's fine, but yeah, I'm more. The TikTok thing was annoying. I was just like, what the fuck? I was just like, why are you doing this? Like, I'm having fun on this thing. I'm not posting anything. Like, I've been on TikTok. I see what these chicks are posting. I'm banned.
Right.
I'm banned. Yeah. Like, because I don't even know. I don't even have an answer. Like, there was a bit I posted where I said transgender. I don't know if that's why. Like in my head, I'm like,
probably.
Is that why?
I don't know.
Like,
I mean, I have no clue.
Yeah.
I hope what I'm saying will make you feel better and kind of help you.
I feel fine. It's just talking.
You were crying when you came in here.
Dude. I was, but like it's good to cry. It's healthy.
Yeah, but like it was nonsensical, and you threw some stuff on the ground, and
I'm sorry I destroyed your place. I will clean it up afterwards. But when I get emotional, I like to throw things because I want other things to be hurt with me.
See, that's honesty.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. That's the clip. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Man, first of all, not just you, but for all like the comedians who are really hustling out there, that's one of those jobs where it doesn't matter. Nobody in the audience cares what's going on in your personal life. They're there to laugh for that little bit of time. So you have to compartmentalize whatever's going on in your personal life, no matter how bad it is, to really be of service and entertain people.
Sometimes, Or you could drag them into it.
For sure.
Yeah.
But that to me is like higher thinking in this situation where like, hey man, this guy, he's entertaining people, but he's taking a break from his life to make sure that you guys are freaking laughing your butts off, having a good time.
Yeah.
And those kind of jobs, I think, need to be respected a little bit more, and people need to any kind of a service, being of service job, people need to ease off just a little bit. You know, you might not like a comedy, and that's fine, but there's no reason to like make fun of them or say, hey, you're shit, or all this like negative things. So what you guys do is really, really important, and it's brought happiness into my life and my friend's life so much, because like all my friends and I who listen either to you guys or other comics, those are important times, you know, like just we need a break sometimes. And that's what you guys do. So that's critical.
Yeah.
And so I hope that makes you feel a little better, and
it makes me feel more guilty for all the times that and a lot of comics do this. Like if you're having a bad day, you'll bring it on stage and just bring the crowd with you. Cause you're like,
what do you mean?
Like if you can have like your energy's just, you go with your energy. I'm not one to like fake my energy. So if I have a show, I have a show tonight, maybe 2. I have at least 1. So I'm gonna go up. I'll be fine by then. But if something like sad or traumatic happened within the hour of me going on stage, I'm gonna bring that up on stage. I'm gonna like.
Okay.
I'm gonna that first 5 minutes, I might riff about it.
Yeah.
And just be like, you know what? Fuck, man, life sucks right now. Like I'll just go into it. I'll be like, if I had a set in 10 minutes, I'd go up on stage. I'll be like, I got banged on TikTok. For what? Yeah, like I don't know.
Oh, but that's not bringing the audience down. They'd be enjoyed by that.
No,
I guess the moments
would
I've
still
seen
be
you guys,
funny. Yes.
I've never seen. I guess from all the shows I've seen, I've never seen a comic where I'm like, oh man, maybe he needs to take a break from comedy.
Sure.
Like,
I mean, I have, but yes, you're right. I'm not gonna go on stage and be like, man, I feel like I shouldn't be doing this anymore. This shit sucks. Like, fuck, man. If I could afford a gun, I'd buy it and buy bullets and maybe put it to my mouth. Whatever. You guys don't fucking care about me. I mean, you see it rarely. Like someone like lose their shit, or like, what's up with this crowd? You guys fucking suck. Like, you're like, all right, whatever.
Yeah. No, man. We kind of stopped doing the TikTok thing. How are we on time, by the way? Should I?
3 minutes.
3 minutes. All right. Yeah, we stopped posting on TikTok.
Wasn't working.
You know what's kind of
hard.
intimidating? It's like, first of all, the followers don't translate to our
Instagram
or YouTube or our live plays on Adobe. And so I always feel overwhelmed. I'm like, I have another social media platform I'm trying to get followers on.
Yeah.
I'm tired of trying to get followers. Honestly.
Yeah, maybe it's a blessing.
Dude, seriously.
Wasn't doing anything really.
Like, what are you posting the same shit on your Instagram as you is on TikTok? Like, I'm tired of it. And here's a story you might you might find funny or might relate to. My management team once brought me in to talk about how to raise my followers on Instagram, because all I was posting is my sunrise photos on my pre-morning runs that I loved, and I'd have these like inspirational quotes because I felt great and I wanted to share that with people, and they'd get like maybe 100 likes. Yeah. And they're like, you should start posting more selfies of you, and instead of like sunrises, like, and they were like, they're beautiful, but they're not getting traction. And they just kept talking to me about it, and some of the things they were saying was right, but I guess I was just frustrated with all of social media. I felt like crying because I was like, people don't like sunrises, but they'll like a stupid selfie of me in front of something else. Like I'll get 600, 700 likes as opposed to like 100 barely on a sunrise. Like I was just so frustrated with what people are liking or what's in the algorithm that I was so tempted just to be like, I'm going to delete everything and then I won't have anything.
I could post like a silly fun picture of my nephews and it gets nothing. Versus, if I posted something like like what, like, they don't like, if you're if you're in LA, they don't want nice sweet shit, dude. They don't want that. Like, I have that life. Yeah. I follow my friends and they're married and they have kids and they post that. That's for them. You motherfucker better not post any of that bullshit, because I don't follow you to see your little heartwarming fucking family photo or sunset.
Yeah.
and it makes you feel like, man, nobody cares about who I really am.
Or what I think is important to share, because I don't think my face is that important to share on Instagram. Anyway, hey, if you're listening on Adobe Radio, we're going to stop right here, but the show continues on. Make sure you tune in tomorrow on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. And yeah, the show continues on. Yeah, man, I can't wait for the day where I don't have to worry about that as much, because it is kind of a tactical thing now. Whenever I post something, I got to go, okay, why am I posting this?
Yeah.
Am I going to get also, I want to post what I want to post.
There we go. There's some passion.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't care that, okay, it got 100 likes. I don't care. That's something I think is important.
Yeah, I mean, but we also are now influenced because it's been part of our life for the last 10 years. Are we really ever posting what we really want to post, or are we posting what we think we really want to post?
You know what I hate about myself this morning? Something beautiful happened to me. I saw 2 doves right outside my doorstep on a little railing. They were beautiful. They were a couple. They looked beautiful. I immediately, without thinking, started to take out my phone like I wanted to take a picture of it. I'm like, why? Am I going to post it? And who am I sharing? No, I'm going to enjoy this moment.
Yeah.
Why do I have to share it with people?
No, you don't. But you could take a picture and remember the moment.
Oh, shit.
And be like, man, look at these doves. And I was like, sometimes I remind myself.
No, I was doing it with the intention of posting it.
Now, I agree with, I'll take pictures of some cool moments, and they're just in my phone. But I will also, I think for, performances or live events, sometimes I'm like, let's just take this in.
Yeah. Promoting the work. That I don't mind. It just depends
Let's
on
just
the
at
way
a
it's done.
concert, if I'm, watching a performance, I'm just like, just be here. Watch it.
What do you think about those Viners and TikToks who do those horrible 15, 30-second comedy sketches, videos, and bits? Do you know what I'm talking about? I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
And the caption is when your girlfriend gets off her period, and then the girl is coming out of the bathroom, and the guy's like, and she's like, yeah, and he's like, and then the song, do you believe in life after love? And that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
And it gets millions of views and
well, that's easy. So it's easy, and people want easy shit, but they're not stand-ups. So whatever, let them do that. Let them that's their lane. Whatever. I don't want to work with them. That's their lane.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? I mean, you could either choose to be a comedian who's desperate for the fame and regress as a comedian and go to a hacky material and do that and post that way.
Yeah.
And choose the route of, I'm going to be an Instagram, TikTok comedian.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could just stay in your lane and be a stand-up comedian. And, when there's a renaissance again and stand-up, the pure art form of going to watch someone do stand-up on stage is appreciated again.
Yeah.
Then you'll be like, whoa, that's great. And nobody can do that because, if a 17-year-old can be famous on TikTok, then it can't be that hard. You're telling me if you don't really have that much life experience or practice and you're just kind of, listen, there's families making money on TikTok, just families. So, I mean, reality shows, there's a lot of ways to make money if you want to put yourself out there. Doesn't mean it's great, but if you're doing something great, you just kind of have to watch it and just do you, right?
Or they're using
But you can't jump into that and be like, well, maybe I should do this so I can make money too. It's like, no, because then you're not valuing what you're good at. And one day something will be there for what you're doing and it will be worth a lot of money because not a lot of people can do it. And it will be appreciated.
Well, that's a good point.
Right?
That's why I'm still training with my acting buddy, my brother, my some other friends that I do scenes with, and then I just study on my own constantly. Sometimes I'll just do self-tapes, not because I have an audition, just because I want to practice.
We're all young. I mean, you never know. Maybe when you're
46, dude.
Maybe when you're 47.
Okay.
I know. Okay. Maybe when you're 47, it hits, and it's just crazy. Maybe I think about that sometimes. I was maybe when I'm 50, I have the look. for a 50-year-old. They're like, bro, he's the dad and everything. He's just the dad and maybe we're dads and everything. And we just have to wait till we get there.
Maybe
You know what I
that's
mean?
when we'll be ready to handle it too.
Yeah.
Because I've seen people who get like series regular roles and they're super young.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, this is a train wreck. And then they never work after that again.
Yeah.
That's depressing.
But you also see so many actors who are like, whoa, this guy's like, I mean, look, Skip Bayless just got $34 million. Do you know who that is?
Isn't he an announcer?
Like analyst, yeah. Like he talk, a journalist
Yeah, he gets
on
kind of
Sports
excited, right?
69 years old. So I remember hearing his name maybe when I was in college, maybe not. So that's like 18 years ago. So 18 years ago, they can't hear it. So if you respond to it, then they know there's something. But if you don't respond to it.
Well, now they're going to want to know what I'm responding
Someone
to.
got stabbed outside, but
Yeah.
we'll get back to that. You'll hear about it on the news.
Oh, they're getting stabbed as we speak.
Yes.
Peyton, would you mind leaving it on Mr. Michael? I think it's just a crazy, hopeless person. If you can just lock the door just so they don't get in here again. We've had
Well,
that
that would
happen
be a
couple
good show.
times.
Wait, someone's walked in?
Yeah.
While the show was going on.
No, thankfully, but
That would be
just walked
great,
in.
though.
Maybe.
That's content.
One of the people who walked in was Dangerous Vibe. I was like, you're a criminal of sorts. I can tell.
And how'd you get them out peacefully?
I went in my alpha voice. I'm like, can I help you? You know, like you go a little bit lower in your
Yeah.
tone, and I'm like, oh, sorry. I'm like, yeah, all right, no, and then they left.
Wow.
Yeah,
Um,
because I'm out. Like, I don't know if you've noticed, but
Yeah.
like,
you're like me. You're not alpha or beta.
I'm Omega.
Is that what it is?
I have no clue.
What
man.
were we just talking about before?
Skip Bayless getting $34 million.
So
and you've never heard
69.
his-
So
yeah.
18 years ago, he was what? 51.
I can't do math. Yeah.
So that's crazy. If like he started getting into that part of his career at 51,
Yeah.
that's cool. Like you never stop going.
Have you thought about doing props with your act?
Never.
Never.
I'll never do that.
Yeah.
That's the most insulting thing I've ever heard. I know that was a bit.
Dude, don't tell any of like your comedian buddies and just have a suitcase ready to go. And
What
like
if-
one show you're just trying to do bits with props and everybody's like, is he fucking for real? And you're like, I just want to try
It
something
would be
new."
actually funny if I just every show walked on stage with a suitcase and then put it down and then never acknowledged it. And it was just there. It's just like he brings a suitcase, but it's just there. And it's just like, don't talk about it.
That would be really
And
funny.
people ask me about it. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, all right, stop playing around. I'm like, I honestly have no idea what you're talking about. Do you want to carry on with this interview? Do you want to move on from this? Like, I don't know what you're talking about. There's a briefcase next to you right now. I go, what's your problem, man? Like,
Get him out. You actually get
do
them
you
kicked
want to
out of the
like,
show?
yeah, like, what do you,
Oh, that'd be great.
like, I'm here to talk on your show, but I don't know what you're talking about. And I don't know what your problem is, but let's continue to go. Like, I even bring it on podcasts.
You take it too far. You start getting people kicked out, and it turns a little dark, and it's not funny anymore. But you're like, "Oh shit, I've committed, so I'm going to continue."
Did you
to
just
commit.
take over my bit?
I did. Is that okay?
I just wanted you to acknowledge that you did. He took over my bit. I started a bit. I took it. Well, actually, I stole his original premise, made it a bit, and then he took it back. That's
Should
what
I give it
happened.
back to you now? To
I don't
continue
want it. I don't want it because it's been used and tarnished.
I'm sorry, man. I'm not a comedian.
They know. People listening right now know that.
I know.
Was that hurtful?
No,
Damn.
this is part of a bit. We're in a
Are
bit
we
within a
still
bit.
in the bit?
Maybe.
Has the whole episode been a bit? Hi, guys. My name's actually Michael. And then lights out. It's like, hi, it's me, Wesley Snipes. I don't know. Whatever. We got him to laugh finally. We got the vampire to laugh.
Wait, did you just do the
The
white
sign.
power symbol?
I did.
Oh.
I thought it's the sign of the devil.
This?
Yeah.
I don't know. They said that this is a white power
That's-
symbol, which
yeah,
I
it's
don't.
Stupid. It's
I don't
also.
know.
It's more. Okay. Okay. That's what it is. More. This has always been more okay to me than anything. Got it. Okay.
I see what you're saying.
Gotcha.
Mm-mm.
I don't do it, but sounds good.
Yeah.
Or it's just drained to 3.
Oh.
Threes. That's what the basketball players are. They fucking drain threes and they go three.
Oh, okay. They're tall. Basketball players are super tall. I know that sounds crazy.
It's
but-
the most ridiculous thing you could ever say on a show. Like, where have you been your whole life?
No, you see them play and you're like, okay, it seems normal on TV. But then when you see them stand next to a person that you recognize, you're like, holy shit, these guys
bro,
are
this
just
is not
length.
a subject to talk about. Like, everybody knows basketball players are tall. What
No,
are you
they don't, Michael.
Yes, they do.
Mr.
Bro,
Lenoci,
this
they
is
don't
like
know
saying,
this.
oh my God, dude, the ocean is huge.
Yeah,
like, dude, it is huge.
No, Michael, this is not a bit.
Yeah,
and
I know.
I'm being serious right now.
This is not this. I know this is serious, but it's weird that you're bringing up that basketball players are tall.
Yeah, because yeah, most people go, yeah, they're tall, but until you see one on person or
But you're
like
40. How have you not seen one?
I'm 33.
How have you not, like, have you never seen a basketball player before?
Not in real life, never.
You've never came across a basketball player?
Never.
In high school, your high school basketball players weren't tall? You've never
That's
seen.
high school. I'm talking about NBA.
You've never come across someone who's 6'6", even who's not in the NBA?
Yeah.
Have you been around
Yeah.
tall
no,
people?
but they're taller. They're taller than
Some are
6'6".
tall. Some are, but the average.
6'9"?
Some are, but most of them are like
8'6"?
6'6" to 6'7". There's no 8'6". There's no 8'6" guys.
They seem like 8'6".
They're 6'6". Now there are some that are 6'10", but we're talking about less than 100.
No, this is not a bit.
Yeah.
Again, I think those are made up height stats. I think they're taller than that.
Okay, fine, but bringing up basketball players are tall is equivalent to another ridiculous thing. Like, I never realized the fucking sky was that blue.
No,
like,
that's
I literally
different.
thought
That's different.
It's that understood. It's that understood that it's so understood that, like, hey, you have to wear shoes if you're gonna go outside.
No.
It's
no,
that
no.
understood.
No,
Wouldn't you
it's
say?
not. No.
It's the most.
No.
It's the most understood. It's one of, I would say, if we were on that show that Harvey, not what's his name, what's the
Steve
comedian-
Harvey?
Steve Harvey
Yeah.
host, and they have to have like the top 10 answers.
Yeah.
What are the most commonly known things in the world?
Yeah.
Basketball players are tall would be the top 10, and
No.
you brought that up as a subject matter to talk about on the show.
Yeah.
I will not let that go.
No. And I'll tell you this. You brought up the example of like the ocean's big.
Yeah.
Yeah, people will be like, yeah, the ocean's big. But until they see it for the first time, they will be like, whoa. Okay, now I fully understand.
Well, how do you really see the ocean unless you're from space? Like, you can go to the beach and be like, yeah, it's huge. But who hasn't been to a beach to see that?
A lot of people.
But they still have seen videos of beaches and stuff.
Yeah,
And the
videos
oceans.
are different. Videos and stuff that doesn't really show you comparison and size is different. I've gone 33 years of my life without realizing how
It would be
lengthy.
different if you're like, I went to New York City for the first time and I was like, holy shit, look how tall these buildings
That's
are.
the same thing,
It's
Michael.
not the same thing.
It is, Michael.
because nobody. But you're not saying here. How about this? You're not going like, you didn't bring up, holy shit, man, I didn't realize how tall buildings were. Like, everybody knows they're tall buildings. In person, you're like, wow, it's crazy seeing all these tall buildings in person because you don't necessarily been to a big city before. But going, oh, I didn't realize how big basketball players. It's just like everybody knows Shaq. You think of Shaq, basketball player. He's fucking 7 foot.
Yeah, have you seen him hold a beer can?
No.
Oh,
Maybe.
that's one of the things I saw was him holding like a beer can. And you're like, oh my gosh.
But to be surprised about how
bottled
big
water.
they are is different.
No, it's you, dude. It's a different type of. It's a different type of length. I think this is the depression talking. To be honest,
You're depressed?
your depression.
I don't have depression.
Okay. No, I think I'm right. I definitely think I'm right. I'm holding my ground on this.
I think you're right. You're right for you, and I think I'm right for me. And then I think I brought up some analogies, and then I think I gave an analogy that helped your argument, and then I tried to use that analogy for my argument, and then I was like, fuck, I shouldn't have brought up that building one because that is the same thing. But I still think it's funnier to say what I said with being like, hey, basketball players are tall is hilarious, which he agrees. But then I gave you the building analogy. And I'm like, well, that just fucking defeated the whole argument because that helped your argument.
We all learn, man.
But here we are. Just another day in the life of us.
Of Wesam's world.
Wesam's World is what the podcast is called. Please subscribe. Check it out on all platforms. I'm Michael Lenoci. Please unfollow me.
Are we signing out? Is that the
No,
sign?
I don't know.
we're-
I don't know. I was just
No,
doing,
no. I like that.
I was doing a bit, but if you want to sign out there.
No, I'm enjoying
I just-
discussing things with you. Are you enjoying your living situation? Is that good? Like I feel like
Yeah.
having a good home base is important.
Yeah, I have a good home base.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. I feel like I want to check in with you. I don't know why. Like I
Wait,
know we're not like super.
you
We're
can
not like
check in
really
with
great
me.
friends, but I'm always like, I
Yeah,
want to
you're
make
not.
sure you're doing
We're
okay.
not friends.
Yeah, we aren't really.
We're not friends.
No, we're not.
Acquaintances. Acquaintances.
Yeah.
I'm friends with him. We're
That would make me
friends.
sad because he wouldn't. He hasn't told me, and we're friends.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, that would make me sad.
I feel
a
like
little bit.
he's pretty tall.
Him.
I would say he's over 6 feet.
Yeah, but he has bad posture, so sometimes it seems like he's a little shorter.
You do have scoliosis? Huh. Did you fix it? What don't they fix it when you're in elementary school? Don't they bend you over and look at your back? Yeah.
They do that to you all?
When I was growing up, they would check for your back, check your hearing, and check your sight like
Oh.
regularly in the schools.
Oh, they don't care about Gen Z.
Yeah.
Stop.
Wait, where are you from? Where'd you grow up? Utah?
Oklahoma.
Yeah, but
That's-
he's younger. He's 22.
You're
right?
22 again?
24.
24. Because last time I was here, you were 22,
That's right.
and that was like 6 months ago.
It was about 2 years ago.
No, I was. Wow. So you're 24.
Yeah.
Wow. But you're married, right?
I am married.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember you were married, and you
Recently divorced.
you haven't thought about getting divorced yet.
No, I am divorced.
You guys got divorced,
Yeah.
but when I was here, oh, you didn't. You were kidding. Okay, cool. But I was like, that's gonna happen. You think?
No,
You hope it doesn't,
I hope it doesn't.
but you won't have this. You won't have the same. Yeah, because you realize how hard it will be to get married again. Yeah. Because then you have to find another scoliosis girl.
That's true.
Wow.
Married with somebody else's scoliosis.
Isn't there like a scoliosis dating app?
That is true. Yeah.
It's called Scolioswipe.
Why not make it at this point? There's already an app for everything.
And then they don't swipe left or right; they swipe diagonally.
Oh, that's funny.
No, you have to fucking form a question mark.
We'll probably get canceled for that. Maybe.
No, it's fine.
Anyway, dude, appreciate you coming on. This is all.
Well, that's it. We're done. We're ending on that. It sounded like you wanted to check in with me, and then we went off for a second, and then we came back to check in, and now you're done.
I know you said you didn't want the show to end.
Yeah.
Later the show.
Yeah.
I felt like you wanted it to end. That's why I did it to be.
No,
completely frank with
you're putting pressure on yourself. I have nothing to do. I could do this for 5 hours.
Yeah.
As long as I'm still riffing, yeah. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
having fun.
Yeah.
Can you order food? I mean, we could keep going. Whoa, he made it seem like it was possible. No, I'm not going to ask you to order food.
What would
Chick-fil-A?
you like?
What?
You want Chick-fil-A?
Who doesn't? Always. No, I'm kidding. I
I
mean,
feel
I
like-
don't know. How long have you, what's the longest you've ever done this show?
A little over. Can I help you?
Wow.
That was
violent,
the most.
violent killer of a bug.
That blew my mind.
It was about to crawl on my fucking mask. I can't have that.
Oh, okay.
Crawl on your mask?
You've already had COVID. It's fine. What kind of bug is it?
It's
It was like a giant ant.
you look
Okay.
like you killed lizards growing up.
That has to be a shirt.
You look like you killed lizards.
It does. It kind of looks like he was like, I don't mean. And then you felt guilty afterwards, but you're like, but did you see? But did you see the blood squirt? You're like, I feel bad. Like you're crying, but like the blood squirted. It was funny.
What the fuck do you watch other than sports? Do you watch nature shows?
If it's like background shit to fall asleep to, maybe sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Like whatever, you know. I watch shows. Sometimes I would like. I just finished Better Call Saul.
Oh, is it good?
It's great.
Yeah.
I love him. Bob Odenkirk.
Yep.
Kirk, right?
Odenkirk. Yep.
I love him. Like I'm in love with him.
Oh, shit.
Like I have a man crush on him.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
like-
interesting.
Like not sexually. I'm just like, man, whatever he does, I'm all about it. Like that.
Yeah.
He's got a movie coming out. Hey guys, I'm here to promote Bob Odenkirk's new movie coming out May 26th. Forgot what the title is, but he's got a movie coming out, and like I'm like I can't wait to watch this because I'm cheering for him.
Yeah. It looks like a kind of a serious.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
like his range is great.
It's amazing. you
So
ever saw Kids in the Hall?
No.
This brings up something that I always love watching shows or things that are ahead of their time. Kids in the Hall was like that. Stella on Comedy Central. I think it was like 2 seasons. Did you ever watch that show?
No.
Oh man, those 2 shows were like way ahead of its time in terms
Really?
of comedy. Yeah, and like Waiting for Guffman, when that came out, I felt like that was ahead of its time as
Really?
well. Yeah.
Never heard of any of these 3 until today.
Really?
Never.
Man, if you get a chance, please watch Waiting for Guffman at least.
I mean, yeah, I guess I don't know. If
I know
ever will.
you probably won't do it, but that's fine.
You know what I mean? Like, sure, if it was there and I'm in the situation, I would.
Totally get it.
But to mark it down in my phone, remember that. You know what I mean? Like, I think this is for everyone. When they're like, you got to see this show, I'm like, is it relevant right now? For sure. Is it like when I turn on Netflix, is it one of those? Then sure, I will. But if it's something where I have to look it up and see what it's on. Is it on Amazon? Oh, we don't know. And then write it in my phone. Like, too much work.
Yep.
It's too much. We're in a generation where if you have a show suggestion and I have to do more than the minimal amount of work to find it, then it's not going to be seen.
Yeah.
Like, unless it starts to be trending on one of the Hulu or Netflix, which that happens sometimes. Like, an older show will pop up and you're like, but that show's been around. And you're like, really? And then you like watch it. I'm like, this one's great. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't, for whatever reason, Better Call Saul's been out for years.
Yeah.
And I just binged all 5 seasons in the last month.
That's the way to do a show.
Yes. It's fun. And because the new season should be coming out soon. But the final season, I believe. But yes, it is. And then, like, and now it's been long enough I could go back and watch Sopranos if I wanted to. I never watched The Wire. People say to get into it.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that one?
No.
I
It's
hear
like an old show.
very good, though. I hear it's like, there's a couple show creators that started in that writer's room.
Yeah.
I want to say Vince Gilligan came from The Wire.
Oh.
Maybe, or something. He came from something. That's
Yeah.
all I know. Before Breaking Bad, he was on something where it was like, whoa, maybe, was it X-Files?
Oh yeah, it was X-Files.
Okay, X-Files.
Good memory.
Yeah, so he came from something that was a great show, and you're like, okay. And that's what happens a lot. A lot of these great shows, there's people in those writers' room that learn, and then they go into and make their own classic.
Yeah. Have you watched The Office?
Of course.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Office is like Seinfeld to me.
Okay.
I've watched episodes of it, but I'm not one of those people who's like, remember this episode? No, I watched it. Funny. Haha. Yes. I'm not someone who binges comedies or watches comedies a lot. I like to binge dramas. Like, I love dramas and like those shows, like, Ozark or thrillers. You know what I mean? Like, but comedies, like, it's just like easy. Like, I like to just hear the jokes. The only comedy I could really do, like, you remember this episode is actually Family Guy. It's the only one I could be like, there's an episode where, like, if you described an episode, I could be like, yes, I've seen that episode. Or Rick and Morty.
That's a
right.
good show.
I could do it with those two. But like Seinfeld, I'm not one of those Seinfeld fans. Like, remember that episode when George loses his job? Like, I don't know it like that. Like, but I've seen 100 episodes of Seinfeld over the years. It's been around for 30 years. So over time, I've caught all these different episodes, and it's funny. Yes. Same with The Office, but I don't know how to identify episodes. So I'm not like that. Or with Friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The reason I bring that up, the Office one,
Yeah.
was because they have the Office Ladies podcast, 2 of the series regulars on the show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they it's actually because I've seen every single episode multiple times, and I like the show, and it's always nice having that add on to something that you love and all the behind the scenes stuff.
Sure.
So that's
How
just been
now?
really enjoyable.
I wonder how that works. I wonder if like they were able to start that podcast and they get all the profit, or they have to give some of the money to NBC or whatever.
I have no clue. That's a good question.
But I mean, people do that with a lot of shows. I mean, a lot of popular podcasts are Bachelor podcast, or I'm surprised there's not like a fucking Kim Kardashian podcast.
Yeah.
She would be killing it. I mean, she already kills it. But like, hey, you want even more money? Just fucking Kim, do a podcast.
Yeah.
Her podcast would be the biggest podcast in the world.
Yeah. Maybe.
It's
The
crazy.
Rock would. Speaking of The Rock, trying his new Zoa energy drink.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. 0 sugar, but it's the sweetest thing I've ever tasted in my life. I have no clue what's in it.
Is that it right there?
Yeah, it's all natural.
I wish I could try it.
It's empty.
Damn.
I'm sorry.
No, I don't like energy drinks. I
But you like coffee?
coffee.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coffee's not an energy drink.
Well,
Coffee gives you energy.
Okay. Yeah,
it's
that's
not
true.
an energy drink.
That's very true.
It's organic.
Very observant of you, Mr. Lenoci.
A pretty simple observation.
No, that's very observant.
I don't want something that was made in a lab necessarily, unless it's a drug.
Oh, okay.
That would be different.
Like a drug to get you high, or a drug to
Yes.
help you.
No, a drug to get you high.
Okay, like
A
an
drug to help
antibiotic.
me, I don't like those. I don't trust those.
Antibiotics? No.
No, I
Vaccines?
don't like. No, I
Okay.
don't. I mean, listen, if I have to, I will. But
Yeah.
by the time, if I have to, I will. But if I can go around and eventually people are like, everyone's been vaccinated, I'm like, yeah, me too.
Would you really?
I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, unless like you have to have it to fly or do shows.
Yeah.
But like I'm not. I had it. I have the antibodies.
Yeah.
So
I have a question for you.
yeah,
I forgot to bring this up the last time. Your
Yeah.
mom's British.
she is. She still is. Yeah.
She's still British.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. That's all I
For
want to
now,
ask.
that's it.
About your mom.
Don't want to elaborate on it or anything else. No other questions.
No, that's it. Just had to confirm.
She is British. Yes.
Does she visit the
Make tea,
homeland?
yes. What?
Does she visit the homeland?
Well, she hasn't for a couple of years, but yeah, she would go
Yeah.
like every couple of years. Yeah, all her family's still there. So
Yeah.
my mom's side of the family's still in England. My dad's side of the family's dead. So nope,
Okay,
lost them there. But he's Italian, so I'm first generation.
gotcha.
Yeah, I have my green card. Well, I was born.
Do
here.
you?
I was born in America.
So you don't have a green card?
I guess I don't. But they have their green cards.
Do
They're
they?
citizens. They've been living here 40 plus years.
Yeah, I'm a naturalized citizen, so I get that. I have a little picture of me whenever I was being sworn in as a citizen with the
Yeah.
judge and the little American flag.
I
and my
saw,
little
I
brown
saw
suit.
that. You posted that picture one time.
Oh, okay.
You don't remember?
No, I was surprised that you even remember or went through my Instagram.
Yeah, you posted it like a few weeks back.
Amazing. I don't know why that made me
He's
surprised.
posted a lot of selfies, but it's just there's nothing. It's just clear.
Yeah, he's not on Instagram still, which bothers me. You never told me when you were back on Instagram. You said you'd tell me. Well, did you really? Yeah. I don't listen to you.
Posted anything, but like I'm there. I'm looking.
I'm gonna block you.
Do it.
Yeah.
Your mom's
Syrian.
Siri.
And so is my dad.
Your mom and dad's serious.
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 They're serious.
Yeah, I was born there too.
Syrian.
Syrian. Big S. But raised most of my life in Oklahoma. So.
Oh, you're from Oklahoma too.
Mm-hmm.
Did
Yeah.
you guys know each other in Oklahoma?
Nope.
How did that happen?
You want to know something? Oh, should I just tell him the story?
Just go for it.
Apparently, some guy. Can I say his name?
Sure.
Some guy. I met this guy apparently, and I totally forgot I met him. And he said, "Hey, he got my email from this guy."
Yeah.
And so I get a random email from him. I don't know him. This was a couple years ago. And he goes, "Hey, I hear you're good friends with Jack Dean, and I'm moving out to LA. I'm trying to be an actor. Would you mind meeting up for coffee just to kind of get to know everything?" And I was like, "I don't know Jack Dean. Who the hell is Jack Dean? I don't know him." But I was like, "Yeah, sure, man. We'll meet up for coffee. I can show you or tell you like
Yeah.
what to do or whatever, give you help." And that's what happened. I gave him help. And
So who's Jack Dean?
I still don't know.
You wrote him an email
Yeah.
saying, "Who the hell's Jack Dean?"
You came and did there was like a theater competition happening, and you were one of the judges, and you gave your email out to students.
Did I really?
Any advice?
Oh, okay.
Anything. That's how I got it.
But,
But
he
who
said,
the fuck is Jack Dean though? You just made that name up?
No. It was one of the students he gave his email out to.
Oh, but
Yeah.
you don't know who you gave your email to.
No, but he said,
Miscommunication where when he gave me the email,
You're
he just kind of gave me the email. It's like, oh, like
You're
I
creepy.
know this guy
You're-
is out there, and I took it as like, oh, they know each other.
Yeah, you're creepy.
no, I loved
know.
it. You know
Yeah,
why?
yeah.
It was initiative. That's what I like on
Sure.
his end. On Jack Dean's end, he said we were friends, and I'm like, I've never met this guy in my life.
I met a guy on a plane a couple months ago. That's the end of the story. I met a guy.
What if you slowly lose it throughout the entire podcast?
I met a guy on a plane a couple months ago flying back from Florida to LA, and we just, he made a remark to like people coming on the plane just openly, and he's older. He's maybe 55, but looks younger. Makes a remark, and I go, to let him know like, that's a funny remark. A remark I'm not going to say on the podcast, but I was like, and I was just like, I thought it was like, wow, this is funny. He's just outwardly saying this shit, in this climate. But I was like, And then we started talking, and he's a good guy. It turns out he's like well connected, very in. And we start talking about everything, going back and forth. I talk about sports with him. You know, everything he's saying, I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. Then he's showing me like pictures, and I'm like, oh, so, you know, when you first meet someone, you're like, are they credible, right? Isn't that what you're trying to do when you're like, huh, like, is this person credible? Then I Google him, obviously, when I get home, and I read up on him, and I'm like, oh, wow. And we exchange our phone numbers, like, and he's like, yeah, hit me up. And I'm like, all right. And then like 2 weeks later, I'm like, yo, let's grab a drink or something, man. Like, I'm just like, whatever. Let's see what happens. You know, like he's like, you know, I'm busy trying to, you know, still get my my business going. He has a business where he has like a new thing where he's in touch with like the NFL, the MLB, and all this, like a book, like a magazine that is like a high-end magazine, and there's a lot of players behind it, like Jeter and all this. But it's a subscription thing. I don't really know. Okay, whatever. I would have to like look it up again.
Did you get scammed?
No, but he's busy with that, and he's like, hit me up in like 4 more weeks, and then we'll link up. And time passes. I'm like, I'm not gonna hit this guy up. Like, what's the point? Like, he's not gonna respond. But I felt connected. Like, this guy was like, I want to like I was riffing ideas with him that are not comedy related, and I was just like, let me just hit him up again randomly this week. I was like, hey man, it's been a while, but let me know if you want to link up. You know what I mean? Like, let me link up with this guy. And I never take the initiative. And he responded right away. And he's like, I'm in Puerto Rico again because his son's training to be in the MLB. So that's like Dominican Republic. And they have great training facilities there. The Marlins have one. I think a few teams have training facilities there. But that's where a lot of baseball players come out of. So he's there with his son, and we talked about his son on the plane, and he was like worried about it. He's like, I hope he just doesn't get in trouble down there. There's a lot of women, and I want him to stay focused. And I was like, he's going to be fine, man. It's a life experience. Like, he'll figure it out. And then, so he's like, I'm there, but I'll be back in like a week and a half, and let's for sure link up. And I was like, oh, like I'm glad that I reached out to him, and I don't know where this relationship will go, but it was something out of my comfort zone. I would never normally, like, I would just be like, I'm just doing me, and I'm not going to like reach out to this stranger that has a lot of different point of views than me, but I see potential of like, our relationship seemed like interested in each other, and that maybe this could be a window or an avenue that drags me into something, and I have no clue what or where, but let's see where it goes.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. It's kind of a long story with no really good ending yet, but
You know,
I'm excited to like, I don't know, because he lives in Pacific Palisades. Like his wife is like a famous, like doctor for a lot of celebrities.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just like, I don't know. I just pitched a business idea to him about sports. And he's like, that's not invented. I go, no, it should be. And I go, I don't know why it's not. And he was just like well connected with like all the commissioners of like the big sports. And I was just like, I don't know. I just like, that was it. I'll tell you the idea after we get off air.
Yeah. Well, first of all, kudos to, taking the initiative to continue to reach out. 'Cause that's, for a lot of people that's uncomfortable. And I don't know. I feel like it's okay to do that, especially if you guys vibe. Like, why not?
Yeah.
If you guys are vibing and something positive professionally can come from it,
Yeah.
I don't think that's a problem. What I do have a problem with is it doesn't live. It kind of lives in that area, and that's why so many people are cautious of connecting or hooking up with somebody like that in a professional way, because they're like, oh, are they just getting with me because I'm successful or whatever? Because that's so prevalent, and it's amazing, man. I mean, I don't know how much you've experienced this, but I've experienced it to an amazing and hilarious degree where as soon as they find out you're on a show or your show gets picked up, literally your phone rings like crazy.
That's never gonna go away. Yeah, that's crazy.
And then when it's not, you're not on the show.
Yeah.
Oh, I have trouble getting a hold of you for some reason. Why is that? Anyway, no, I know why.
But I mean, that's what I was talking about at the beginning of the podcast for a little bit, is like you find out like when people are in your corner and when they're not, when you're less valuable versus, you're You know, it's funny. Like the star meter on IMDb Pro is real. It's like when it's higher, it's just like you're basically you're what you are or what you represent. You're a share or you're in the stock market. It's like, oh, who wants to buy into you right now, and that's why I'm saying there's very few and in between real friends. You know what I mean? Now, when I met this guy, it's like, oh, cool. We connected. We were like, oh, this is fun, easy to talk to. We talked 5 hours on a flight. You know what I mean? And there's times when I was like, I wanted to sleep, but whatever. Knowing nothing about him, I go, this guy can't help me in any way stand-up wise, right? Which is my main passion. But we connected on the sports thing, and I've always like been like a little curious to be like, wow, it'd be cool to like have a little bit of Rappaport's career. Michael Rappaport, like he acts, does stand up, but he's also on these sports shows on ESPN talking. I love that. Like that's a dream for me. So when we were talking sports and we were connecting there, I was just sharing ideas, and it's just like, I don't know, why did this guy come into my life? So let's take advantage of it and see what happens. And you know, and then he was saying like, I have these big venues that were sometimes we have to hire acts. He's like, maybe one day like we talked about that. He's like, oh, maybe he could hire me because he knows a comedian to perform for like a corporate thing. That's, you know, who knows? But I was just like, I thought the timing was awfully weird that I met him to where I'm not religious, but I don't know. I can't explain things. Why does something happen? And I just felt like, why is this happening?
Thank God you just said religious, because I wanted to pitch you a funny funny show idea.
Yeah.
And it might be a TV show. And I thought about this this morning or last night. Hear me out. You try out different religions.
Yeah.
And see which one you would most likely go to heaven in, and see which one you'd most likely go to hell in. You go full Jew, go Judaism, like the whole thing, like Orthodox Jew.
Yeah.
I'm talking about go all the way.
Yeah.
And then do another one where you're like Catholic, 100% Catholic.
Yeah.
Do Muslim, and then and then try the different types of like Shia and then Sunni, just to see which one you'd be better at, you know? And then try one where you have multiple wives, just to see how that would work out. Hindu, go to India, that kind of thing. What do you think?
Okay, so I like the premise of like, I'm already thinking like, okay, how do we make this into fucking 100 episodes though? So
it wouldn't be 100 episodes. We're going British style here. We're going 10 solid hilarious episodes.
Oh, that's it.
That's it, because we want it clean. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't want to overwork it. We want people wanting more.
Okay, so an hour long is a dramedy?
Yeah, hour long.
Dramedy? Make it a dramedy?
Yeah, you're going to learn something.
Like
but you're
Barry.
gonna laugh.
Let's make it like Barry.
You got it.
Shot
Barry's
like
my
Barry.
human ferret show right now that you're mentioning this.
Yeah.
Love it.
So Shot Like Barry or Succession. You ever watch? That's my favorite show.
I haven't seen Succession yet.
That's the best show on TV.
Okay.
So watch that. That's the best show, and that's like raw comedy. Like, cause it's like, it's a drama, but like, you laugh. Real situations, just like the reaction of like, all right, bro, you're a fucking bitch. You know, like one of the guys will say that. You're like, wow, this guy's a dick. Whatever. Yeah. It's a great show. A little bit of what Barry is, and that's what comedy is today now. The good shows, that's where comedy's going. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. What Barry is, which is like, is Barry comedy? Like, yeah, it is. Barry's serious, but the characters around him are ridiculous.
But what do you think?
I think there's something there. I think it's different because it's like, okay, now, I like the premise of he's going to try all the religions, and which one is he more likely to go to heaven in, and which one is he more likely to go to hell in, which is, you know, pretty much the same answer. It's like, okay, I'm more likely to go to heaven in this one. That means I'm less likely to go in hell in this one. But how to live the culture of the religion seems like that's years of a life. Like it would take 2 years at least. Like, okay, he's going to be Catholic for 2 years. He's going to be, so each episode is 2 years of the life. You know what I mean? So like if you're only 8 episodes, what's the timing of each episode, right? If they're 10 so he's only doing the religion for a week. Yeah,
you got to just do it a week. Because for instance, we'll do like a Muslim guy, right? But maybe he's like in
but then when aren't you but
don't interrupt. No,
yeah, you're right.
I'm totally joking.
But like if a week, it's like, do you even have to go into the religion? Couldn't you just research the religion for each episode?
What?
Because,
no,
like,
that's part of the fun. Like Orthodox Jew, like we have to shave your head into that thing, put extensions in. You have the curly hair, and like make you go do send you to Jerusalem, do the whole Wailing Wall thing. And
that seems like it takes more than a week.
oh no, you can do it in a week.
So he goes to Jerusalem in a week, and then he's just like, okay, this doesn't. What does he choose at the end? What's the end?
I think something beautiful would happen once you're living this life of like you're kind of shadowing the life of like someone who's Jewish, who's like an Orthodox Jew, and you find little things and you learn things about their life that you wouldn't have learned before.
No.
And at the
No.
What?
I think the show is
All right, that's fine.
him going through the religions and like him being like, I can't do that. Nah, fuck this. Moving. Like there comes a point when he's in each religion where he's like, I can't sacrifice that. I'm out. And then he switches to the next religion. Like whether it's something so minimal or something huge.
I
You
think
know
it's
what I mean?
funny
Like-
if you try to stick with it, and then we do like a hell heaven counter.
Yeah.
I'm taking your idea,
Yeah.
just kind of compromising. That way we stick with it, because there might be a religion where as soon as the first thing comes up, and you're like, I can't do that, and let's go to the next one. It's like, well, we only spent like an hour doing this, and you're already out. Maybe we have a heaven and hell meter, like you're
Yeah.
closer to hell at this point than heaven.
Okay, so then there has to be a guardian angel or something that's not real that he's talking to. That like sets up the show then. Do you get what
Oh,
I'm saying?
maybe
like
like
cuz what's the scale of heaven and hell? His belief? So it's got to be like there's like remember Scrooge with Bill Murray back in the day?
I'm very familiar with this.
So like right, there's like, hey, what's up? Like there's like the annoying thing. I'm like, what's up? I'm the Sorcius or something. Like what's that?
The
What, what I don't know. Whatever.
Sorcius?
I'm the what's the thing in the Matrix called?
Morpheus?
But what was he called?
Morpheus?
What was he called though? What was his what did he do?
The one? The Neo?
No.
Morpheus?
No.
Morpheus was called
No, he wasn't. He had a title.
the
He had like a title. His name was Morpheus. Yeah.
The
Yes, you're right
gatekeeper?
about his name, but he had a title.
yeah. I don't
Okay,
know.
what was the lady's title that they would go see?
The White Rabbit?
No.
The Oracle.
The oracle. Okay. So there has to be an oracle, right? Something like that. That's like, okay, you want to go to heaven. You have to find the right religion to go to heaven. You have to find out what's right for you. And that's the problem with people in this world. They are not in the right thing for each soul is different for everything. Do you get what I'm saying? So then he's an oracle. He checks in. He goes, okay, I've been going through this. How's this one looking? And she breaks it down at the end of the episode. She's like, this is good, but you're not like why he's going to go to hell if he sticks in this religion. Do you get what I'm saying?
Let me clarify. This is not
Yeah.
a scripted show. This is like Idiot Abroad.
What do you mean?
Like, have you seen Idiot Abroad?
I mean, this is like a reality show?
Yeah.
I'm out.
Oh, okay.
I wanted the scripted show. I like the scripted idea. I'm out. I'm out for the reality.
That's
Yeah,
why it
I'm
didn't
going to follow a guy who's really good. So this is just like literally like just some jackass trying different religions.
You're not a jackass. It'd be funny to see you try to be like an Orthodox Jew for a week.
Well, then now if it's a reality show, then we're just like, that's a lot of footage of cutting shit, but it's not seriously taken. The scripted show I like way better with the Oracle. I like that.
That's okay if you're out. That's fine.
All right, I'm out. If it was scripted,
It's okay. It's okay.
all right. I highly think you should run with the idea, and it should be scripted. If this is a bit, so be it. But I think this bit could be a real thing, and it's actually a funny premise for a little short 10-part series.
I was being serious, but I always saw it as a reality thing.
You're wrong.
I don't know
It's
if I'm
scripted.
wrong.
I think it's scripted with the Oracle. Agree to disagree or agree? Hold on.
Have you ever seen Idiot Abroad? What you mentioned. You said you haven't.
No.
Okay. Because I do see where he's coming from. Because Idiot Abroad is hilarious. It's about a guy who just goes to different countries.
Yeah.
And just experiences their culture, and it's fucking hilarious.
Okay. Yes, I saw parts of it. It was on Netflix, right?
I don't know what
I think it is on Netflix now.
it is now. Okay.
Okay.
yeah.
I remember that a little bit, but the whole part of you saying what's going to bring you closer to heaven or hell, that's like a fictional thing. Like
No.
there's no way to measure that.
Well, I thought it'd be funny, like we have like with whatever religion, like a priest or
Yeah.
like a Hindu, like some kind of guru, and he'd be like, okay, so you're so far, like you're on this level.
But they
'cause-
don't do that.
What would we make it work for it? Like,
So then it's fake then.
it's not fake.
Like a priest is going to be like, he won't answer that unless the priest is an actor, because a priest will be like, under ethical code, like that's not how we measure. There's no measurement. You just have to be true to your, like.
I see what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, we could
I
probably
think
find a hardcore
real
one.
shit
in each
is
one.
like fine, but like, I think if it's scripted, it's funny.
That's a good point. That's something to think about.
I'm
We'd
out.
have to work on. It's
I'm
fine you're out, but can you imagine him in like a really hardcore Westboro Baptist church? Do you remember that church?
Baptist church?
Westboro Baptist Church. They're
No.
insane lunatics over there.
Everybody connected to religion a lot, like who's very passionate about it, is an insane person, essentially.
Interesting. Okay.
I mean, everyone overly attached to anything is an insane person.
Interesting.
A crazy football fanatic is a crazy Catholic. Like, it's the same thing. You're just like, you're taking it in too much. You're not taking it with a grain of salt, and that's not healthy. That's not healthy.
Perspective.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like you don't have to believe in God. You don't have to believe in heaven or hell. You could be spiritual.
Sure, you can do
But
that.
based off of what factors we've been given in life and knowing all these different religions and stuff, no one can say 100% for sure what's real and what's not. And nobody can say 100% for real what happens after death. So based off those facts, I can be spiritual, but I have no idea what happens after I die. And I'm for sure not going to have an institution that makes billions of dollars tell me that this is what happens and contribute and live your life through this organization. That doesn't seem logical or smart.
You make some good points there. For sure.
You know what I mean? But so be it. And at the end of the day, living life through these things could give you peace and happiness, then so be it. Whatever makes you happy or give you comfort, sure. You know, if I'm 67 and I have kids and grandchildren and my parents are long gone, I could understand being a part of something for that comfort because of how sad it would be without having that comfort. To think like it's over and they're gone and that my mom or dad are not here with me for some reason.
You would choose that so to give you comfort?
I could see that. I could see even myself, for someone who's not religious and doesn't believe in anything and is just probably spiritual. I believe there's something inside of us, right? I don't know what happens, but I could see myself understand. Like I have more of an understanding to why people are attached to religion later on in life, if anything, because of like, or people have lost a lot to be like, it feels hopeless and sad to be like if my mom died to be like going on in life and like having, if she dies before she sees me have kids and then I have my first kid, to think she didn't get to see this, but to think I feel her here and I feel like she is seeing it gives me more peace. And if I can get that through an organization, through some sort of religion, I understand that. But am I settling in my brain? Am I saying, oh, this is just believe in this, or do I really not know forever? But I could see like an older person going, I'm going to commit to this because it gives me comfort in the later years of my life. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't, yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, I could see where those things logically make sense for people.
Yeah.
And I could see people's deterrent for a lot of organized religions and for the reasons why they're deterred from those kind of things. And I think the other side of it is why are you even, I think understanding why you're even asking these questions and what's the motivation behind that is important before you even make a choice.
Yeah.
And I'll give an example of what I'm talking about. I mean, if life's going good for you or you're coasting,
Yeah.
most people don't really have a urge to go, what happens after death? They're kind of just enjoying their life in the moment, right?
Yeah.
So if you're in a state where maybe things aren't going so great for you, and existential dread is looming over, and you try to shove it away, but it keeps getting there. You're like, what's the point of all this? What do you know? Then I think it's important to question and pursue certain paths and avenues
Yeah.
and everything like that. But figuring out why are you doing what you're doing, or why you're asking these questions is the first thing you should ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, rather than, is this one right? Is this one right? Does this one seem better than this one? Is this one true?
But that's your show idea. Is
Hmm?
this one right? Is this one not right? Is this one better?
Well, that's kind of the premise, but it goes
Yeah.
deeper than that. Especially if you've seen Idiot Abroad, you kind of realize, like, he has these wonderful moments of realization during it, but it's still kind of funny because he has to do these ridiculous ceremonies, and it's also poking fun at the religions themselves to a certain extent of how these primal ways of showing devotion to who they believe is like an omnipotent God, and it's like we have to burn these things so they can smell it. It's like, well, if he's omnipotent and he can do anything and he's everywhere, why does he have to smell this? Like, he has smelling capabilities, like these things go up to him, like you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
there's
that
a
kind
lot
yeah.
of things that you could clearly see that were written in a time before our time that you're like, well, this logically doesn't make sense anymore. Are you religious?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Yeah.
What do you believe in?
Oh, I'm
what's your
Druze. Druze.
Druze?
Yeah, it's
I've
a small
never-
minority group in
I've never
from
heard
the
of
Middle
this.
East. Yeah.
So you believe in a god?
A god and reincarnation only through humans, and
That's what it is. I've never so reincarnation through humans.
But we believe in like philosophy, science, and faith all mixed together. So like some of our prophets are actually like Aristotle, Plato, and like people who have like these great philosophical, ideas and theories. Because the most important thing that we feel like God has ever given us is the mind, the ability to think and logic and decipher things.
What do you
Mixed in with science and faith. Yeah.
And so you just what do you think happens after you die?
Oh, a reincarnation into another life. Yeah.
And when did you start believing in this?
I started to take the religion really seriously is when I started researching reincarnation, because that was always very interesting to me, like how most other religions don't have that.
Yeah.
And I was always like, wow, that to me in my heart seemed to make a little bit more sense, just because everybody's lived a different life. For instance, I think it's a little unfair to give someone a poverty life, and like, I don't know, they live in squander in some, like, I don't know, Thailand or Vietnam,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Versus somebody here who's born into
Yeah.
a super rich family. Like,
Why does
how
that
can you
happen?
judge both on their circumstances when they're completely different?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I that's a
So-
fact. Why does that happen? But
Right.
Who knows?
And so if we're given one life and different set of circumstances, that doesn't logically make sense to me, for the most part. And all my, I would say the majority, not all, but the majority of my thoughts and feelings on my faith are like 98%, 95%, 90%, or like some parts are like 60%. I really don't understand this.
yeah.
But for the most part, I'm like, okay, I can kind of most make sense with what this is thinking about. And with the reincarnation aspect, there's a lot of amazing stories of like little kids talking about their past lives and bringing in people, like taking
Yeah,
people.
there's I've heard this before somewhere. I don't know where.
I know somebody who remembers his past life and had experience with his past family, and it's trippy, man. It's very, very trippy.
How if you're reincarnated though, my only thing is this: there's more humans now than there ever
Yeah.
were.
That's
so. What if there's not enough humans to reincarnate into?
great question.
Yeah.
And
You just wait in line.
yeah, I think so. No,
Yeah.
I don't have a solid answer for that, other than they've talked about how, like, the spirit of certain animals, like you have a dog or whatever,
Yeah.
like the evolution of the spirit itself, there's an evolution to it as well, and like more spirits that were in animals are now evolving into, like, okay, now they're ready to go into a human form as well. I'm giving you the very like basic understanding of what I have of it. Obviously, could be a whole other hours long discussion of beliefs and that kind of thing. There's no like physical like proof of what I just said. Obviously.
Of anything, yeah, that's
But
the whole thing. It's
I'm not trying to
faith.
put that on.
Yeah, yeah. No, I know.
I'm not trying to. When I say all this, I'm not saying like, yeah, this is right. You should believe it. This is what from my perspective in my life that I've leaned toward. Okay, this is more, in my opinion, more likely true for what I've living right now.
Yeah. No, I can respect that. I'd like to think that there's something inside of dogs that they get reincarnated too. They have such personalities. Animals, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know it's.
It feels like there's a little bit more to some animals than, especially animals that connect with humans for the most part, because I saw a video of a husky crying over its owner's grave.
Yeah.
Like
that's fascinating.
Like, come on.
That's awesome.
Elephants grieve like for their dying, for their like.
Yeah, I've seen that too. Yeah.
And I'm like, that okay. Something else is going on there. That's.
I mean,
there's no reason in the animal kingdom for them to do that, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
For survival sake, no reason for them to go visit the bones in the graveyards.
To have love, yeah.
It's very
listen,
odd.
To end the podcast on a sad note, when I put my dog down, I watched his eyes go gray. And then I left, and I go, well, that's the minute she goes, okay, we're injecting him with the fluid that stops his heart. When you put the dog down, you're there. Puts his, he's drugged up. His eyes are going like this, back and forth. I look down. She puts it. She puts her scope on him. She goes, he's passed away. I look at him, and I watch his eyes go. And I'm like, was that the blood that stopped rushing to his brain? Or was that the soul leaving his body? When I left, I was like, that's what happens. The blood stopped rushing to his head. But when I saw it happening, I go, oh, that was weird. It was like it left his body. I just had never experienced that in my life. I go, what was that? And so then logically, I tell myself, I go, that's the blood leaving his head.
Did you cry?
Yeah.
I was just curious.
Of course.
Yeah. I wasn't like,
for days.
Cry, bitch,
Yeah, you're supposed to cry.
Yeah. I saw my dog. That same thing happened with my dog. It was.
I was just like,
convulsing.
what was that? And that was like weird to me. I was just like, it happened so quick. It went
Sorry,
like
man.
that, like the. So I was like, man, I go, that's the blood. It stopped going to his brain, right? Or was that his soul leaving him? I don't know. That's what was interesting to me, because then after she leaves and she goes, take your time, and then she's like, he could twitch. So I was like, okay, because their body is still. So I'm like, I don't know what that was. I just thought that was interesting to see his eyes go like a click, just go gray. Right when they leave the body. I was like, that right. I was like, that was spiritual to me. That was my most spiritual moment I had. But then in my head, I keep saying, nah, it's the blood leaving. It's the blood stopped flowing through his body.
Yeah.
That's why it did that.
Because you're afraid.
I don't know if I'm afraid or I'm just trying to be logical. I'm like,
Oh,
what would
I thought
I
it meant as the defense mechanism to stop yourself from.
It's not that I'm
questioning,
believing. I would love to have proof. I'm just someone who's like, I don't believe in ghosts. Like, show me the evidence.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to believe it. Like, you can believe in stuff. I can believe my team's going to win a championship. You can have belief or faith, but I'm also like one of those guys. I'm like, well, I'm skeptical. Like, I want evidence.
Right.
I would love to be able to be like, yes, it's real.
Yeah.
That was real. I would love for a vet or a doctor to say, no. Blood's still flowing for a little bit after they die. Like, it's still circulating. Then I would go, okay. Now I have that information.
Have you asked?
No, I mean, what am I going to go, hey, by the way, his eyes went gray right away. Is that that's what dogs, is that because the blood stopped rushing to the brain, or that's the spirit, his spirit left and it's
Why
out
did you
there?
ask that?
I mean, in the moment, I'm fucking tearing, and she left me alone, and I'm with the dog, and I just left. I walked away with that information. I go, that was kind of cool. I thought that, I watched. Sorry, guys.
No,
But
no,
it's
no.
part
no,
of
no,
life. But
no,
I thought that was fascinating to see.
You know what is real? This this podcast we just did is real.
Are you real? Well, yeah, that's why we do podcasts. They're real.
Yeah.
And then I just start crying.
That would be, and then I'd do the thank you while you're crying over your thing. Dude, thank you for so much for coming on. Seriously.
Thank you.
I'm glad
for
you're
having
doing
me.
Yeah, I'm glad you're doing well and
Feels better. I feel great.
good. And good luck on the show tonight. Not that you need it, but
yeah.
I hope it's a kick-ass show and you find some golden moments.
Yeah. Thank you, man. Good luck to whatever you got going on tonight.
Staring into
works
the
out.
abyss, man. Staring
Nice.
into the abyss. Play us out. Big P, little PP. That's right.
Big PP.
Thank you, Adobe Radio. Thank you, Nice Guy Digital. Thank you, Peyton Alexandra. Thank you, Michael Lenoci. Make sure you follow him on Instagram because that's when all his shows will be posted, and you should go to them because they're amazing. Thank you to all of our new subscribers. Thank you to you. Always remember to listen, think, and then talk. Bye.
Thank you.